Alright guys, we are back here on Game 2 of the first match of the Netrunner Top 4 at Worlds 2013. I'm Steven.
And I'm Robert.
And we are with Team Covenant, and we love you, and we love what we do. So let's get right to it. We have Andy over there on the right by Jesse Vandover.
Really surprised to see that being run at this tournament.
Yeah, it was a rare play for sure. And Andrew on the left playing NBN. Two Taggy, two Tracy making news. And I know Andrew's on the hyper advance plan because I played him in the top 16 and he can churn him out. Important to note here, Andrew only needs to score 3 points to win this match because he is the higher seed going into the final round, which means he is NBN and he needs to score 3 points. And if he can't do that, then it's a bad day for him.
That's right.
And I noticed this opening hand has no agendas in it.
No agendas.
Definitely interesting to me. I think I would have mulliganed for an agenda, but you can definitely get hosed in the mulligan too, so no need to scramble around. Starting off with the green level. Not a bad play ever, and we see a lot of this in NBN these days. We saw Jesse playing it on his end, and now Andrew playing it on his.
That's right.
I know Andrew favors the Beanstalk royalties as well. I think he's running all the Insta Money cards that you can get your hands on. Tons of money and fast advance, and that's really the name of the game. Saw some Dracos in this deck too, which is a very interesting play. It's an underused card for sure, and this NBN deck can really make the most of it, given a tag and ending the run, utilizing the trace to its fullest. And just a really nice little piece of economic ice. No need to get fancy with it. Definitely a good anti-Otman play. So overall, very nice. Yeah,
I think you're right. Question is, will Jesse be able to explode out here on this first turn like he wants?
Well, I love this first turn NBN play.
Yeah.
I love offering the remote to Andy first turn because they just have to check it.
I gotsta.
First is Data Sucker. And remember, Andy draw 9 cards. Usually Andy players like to play all 4. And Siphon coming in, that's exactly what you want.
Interesting. I like that. Oh, man.
But we are resing the Sand, which means we're just going to have to take a normal access. So account Siphon is ultimately not really hitting like you want it.
Yep.
But Andrew had it set up, definitely baited him into it. Not really baited him into it, but
he was ready
Jesse got what he wanted. Andrew ultimately got what he wanted. I think Andrew won that exchange. And 2 cards left. And no money.
No money. That's not what you want.
I'm sorry, 4.
Well,
he does have
money.
4, yeah.
That's almost like no money.
When the die isn't on Andy, I get confused. But now it's weird because now you have to do gain a credit, sure gamble, and you still have to chuck some cards. Or, you know, if you have an easy mark, that looks okay.
Yeah. Are people running easy marks still?
I think Andy criminal decks, a lot of them are. Yeah, that's about the only place you'll see it.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah, 2 clicks left. That's really not the opening. You were really expecting to shake the 2 tags for your last 2 clicks and have that cash. So obviously Jesse willing to chuck some cards here early. Not too big of an issue. Installing same old thing and taking a credit, all right?
Interesting.
So the Siphon is still in play here, and Andrew's got to know that.
Just got a Beal.
Just got a Beal. No money. Could install that wall of static and put 2 credits in his credit pool there to keep the Siphon away, but you still end up at 0 credits. And that is what he's going to do.
You called it.
Install, yeah.
It's like you play this game.
I have been known to play it.
I dabbled.
First one, sure gamble.
Finally.
That looks more like Andy. Andy usually having a really strong second turn. That botched Siphon kind of blew it up.
Ah, there goes the Sanson.
Sand trash. That's definitely what you want.
The Sanson.
You got to take that option away.
Mr. Lee.
Mr. Lee, and then click in Mr. Lee. And I mean, you can't ask for a better early start here on Jesse. I mean, you can ask for it, but you can't really complain about what you've got here. Andrew kind of on his toes. One Sansan already down. Taking out an easy fast advance object. Gonna have to work through the ice to get there, and he doesn't have any remote set up yet. So that gives Jesse some time to set it up.
That's right.
And I think that's what Andrew's gonna do here.
Just taking his time.
I mean, do you force a breaker play here on Andy? I think I would be tempted to do that, even if you have just a breaking news or something. Install over the top of HQ there. And gaining some cash.
Mr. Lee.
So first, Mr. Lee, same old thing. I love that, putting the pressure on HQ, really having to force ice there.
Yep.
And that leaves R&D more or less unscathed. I think an R&D check over here is not a bad play.
Both of the breakers? What's that? Both of the breakers? No.
Got a card down over there. Looks like Jesse's set up his own remote server over there. Oh, yeah? Well, I can do it, too.
He's thinking about it. Okay.
All right, yeah. Mr. Lee says yes.
Yes, Mr. Lee was thinking about that for a while.
Who got that one? Click to Mr. Lee.
And again.
And Mr. Lee yet again. This is it's a fun position for Andrew to be in. It's really nerve-wracking. You know that the odds are with you here. You know that scoring 3 points should not be difficult, and yet, as you look at this board, it's like Andy could get on top of this.
Easily.
I mean, there was 14 out of 16 Andys in the top 16, so there's a reason everybody is playing her.
There's an easy mark.
Easy mark and a credit. Put a little criminal pressure there. Remember that Beal is still in hand.
Yep.
And even an overscored Beal would do some work here. I don't think that Andrew's going to have the convenience to do that. Install credit hedge fund.
What do you think that card is? Man.
You know, there's a lot of ways to play this. If it's the Sansan, yeah, there's a sure gamble. You got to expect that. If it's a Sansan, you go trash it, you drain some credits, then you install the remote. Yeah, that's probably what he's up to. And I don't know. I think I like a protected Sansan there.
Yeah.
Not seeing the hand, though, certainly makes a difference. I think you're just trying to keep Andy off of your points. You're trying to keep her out of your hand, keep her out of your deck. But 2 Sansans in the trash is not what I'd like to see. If you have a Jackson in hand, it's worthwhile.
Yeah.
Putting 2 Sansans and a hedge fund back in, certainly not a bad play. And we could see the Jackson remote here.
Yeah, pretty quick, I'd imagine, if he's got it.
If he's got it, I think it'll come out. Hand's pretty well protected. We don't have any breakers out yet. But you know they're lurking.
Yeah.
Mr. Lee's been digging and special order in faction. First is going to be to draw here. Get some options.
Everybody's playing like a shaper.
I love that we've all gotten around to drawing as the corp too. That's a play that we didn't used to do early on, and now it seems like it's really something worth our time. 2 draws. And install over archives.
Interesting.
So trying to slow the data sucker down here, not giving any free plays, no free dirty laundry plays, no desperados, no sneak doors.
Gotta work for it.
I think that's the main issue. This is a good time for Andy to play a sneak door here and try to get some points out of hand. Usually this is the turn it would happen. So, shutting that down, or at least trying to. First is Mr. Lee. Even just a Crypsis here, but we still need some money.
Yeah. It's a little cash light.
There's an easy mark.
Less cash light.
Speaking of the card that
we were wondering about.
Click 3, going to be Desperado.
Nice.
So archives coming in at the right point. Click 4 is Mr. Lee. There you go. I would have liked to see Mr. Lee before Desperado. I harp on that all the time. Options.
I've never heard you say
options
that.
Before plays. Options before plays. But you know.
What are you gonna do, man?
What are you gonna do? You want to get the Despy out. You get a little excited.
Ha.
All right, Andy, you're drawn. And really just needing to get 3 points out here.
Yeah, it's not that much.
If nothing else, just score 3 breaking news and call it a day.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't scored anything as of yet. That's really surprising.
Install what I assume to be Jackson. Hedge fund. Staying at a nice credit level here.
Yeah.
Makes a really tasty siphon. And is that unprotected out there? Are we going to make him work to get to Jackson or not?
What?
It's
a
another
third?
Sansan. Okay.
But I mean, that's what he's spending all of his money on. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's wasted 3 clicks and 15 credits now on Sansans.
That's
in exchange
a
for
lot.
3 actions. So that's certainly not a bad trade.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also Sansan, now we're 3 out, and that is the easiest option for Andrew to just go ahead and sweep this game in.
Yep.
And there's the Enigma. That's exactly what you wanted there. Taking a credit, or taking a click. Huge play. And the last click, and run archives.
Going archives.
Looking for a free credit and a free token. And Draco's coming in on the last click.
Very nice.
Man, getting a tag here.
Strength 0, not pumping. I'm going to make it trace 2, 3. You cannot meet. No, Desperado credit. Oh, no, you don't have a Desperado credit. Yeah, trace 3.
And making it a trace 3. Andy's tagged and the run ends.
Dang.
That's excellent. That is excellent for Andrew there. And that was
puts
exactly
so much
why
pressure.
Draco is a great play
Yeah.
for 1.
Uh-huh.
Just a great play.
That's great. Haven't seen that in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Beanstalk, kill your friends.
Beanstalk and destroying Mr. Lee and same old thing for 4.
Dang.
Gonna clear out the resources there.
Yeah, that's going to hamper things a lot.
Yeah, that takes some pressure off here.
It's amazing what a tag can do, man.
I mean, that's where Andrew chose to spin his tempo there. He chose to spin it to shut down Lee and same old thing. Not exactly the strongest resources, but definitely applying some pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he could have also established a remote and scored that Beal out. I feel like that is possible. And because of this reason here, you know, Jesse's turn essentially just a recovery turn. This would have given him the opening to score 2.
Yep.
But I think he's choosing to play as if he didn't need to score 3, as if he needed to score 7.
Yeah.
That's probably the right choice here in a lead-in to the finals. You don't want to alter your game plan too much. Don't play silly.
Yeah, don't rush
Just
it.
play what you know. There's the remote. And I imagine we'll get an agenda in there. And see, I think I would have liked to play this last turn.
There it is.
And advancing once. So could be a character assassination here. Definitely looks like one. Could also be a phenomenal trap.
Mm-hmm. Let's hope for that.
Yeah.
There it is.
Running the remote, first click.
Checking it out.
It's a roto turret. Got just the ice you want. Just the perfect ice for that moment. Perfect ice.
It was. Well played.
Installing a fairy. And 3 is going to pop through it. And there is the assassination. Wow. Killer fairy play. Massive,
Clutch.
massive play for Jesse there.
Yep.
That's going to slow that down extremely well.
Yeah, can you imagine if you had scored that thing?
Yeah. So I think now Andrew buffs this remote and scores out that Beal.
Yeah, I could see that. for
Install the Beal. Put the remote out there. He's got to have another fairy in hand and an additional breaker. 4 credits. I think you can put the pressure on here. It's a little stressful though. First click he's gonna draw, so he's choosing not to. I don't know that you can go too slow here.
sure. Yeah.
Andrew definitely sacrifices some tempo to really lay the hurt on this Andy deck, leaving only Desperado open. But
Yeah, he's back to basics pretty much.
as criminals often do, having the tools in hand to get through there anyway. Install, gain a credit. This is a risky play with inside job happening here. I think with enough Mr. Lees, I can't imagine there's not an inside job in that hand.
He's got one at least, right?
Yeah, this is definitely an inside job play. I guess you can't have everything, but you just got to look in.
That's right. So what's it gonna
Really,
be?
yeah, really stressful moment here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. If the job is there, it's good. It's good.
Because you just gotta look.
If you could burst some econ and play a Crypsis out too, that would solve the issue.
HQ.
First is going to be HQ, and this could be painful.
Interesting.
Even just a pop-up window here is just
that
excellent.
would be spectacular. So
Yeah, so you got to wonder here. And however hard he's keeping, and see,
that's interesting.
I like this. I like this because that essentially signals to Jesse, my opponent has the agenda in hand, did not play it in the remote this turn, and now even if he did play it in the remote, cannot advance it for the win. I very much like that. Unless we see like a Beanstalk breaking news score, which is fine. Like you can give them 1 point. You have to give 1 point here and there. But very, very good running here, I think, on Jesse's end. It worked out there.
Yep.
Had he not res the wall of static and let you in the hand, I think the inside job looks obvious over there if he's got it.
I agree.
So that's a good signal poking
good
around
play.
to see.
And then some hard decisions here.
Yeah, definitely having to consider, and this is definitely worth your time. You're in the top 4. This is the match that's going to determine who goes to the finals. You want to take your time and make sure you get it right.
Yeah.
You've got cameras on you. You've got guys talking over your play. You know, you don't want to...
Before and after the game.
So, install wallet static and paying 2 to get into HQ. There's the pop-up that ends the run. Massive, massive.
That is hilarious, dude.
Yeah, gets you every time.
That is hilarious.
Just massive.
That is
so good for Andrew right now. That is
clutch.
So good. Just an absolutely wasted turn.
Clutch play right
Going
there.
down to no money here. Taking a credit.
That is
And
pretty hilarious,
I'm so
man.
curious if he has a agenda here. I can't imagine he does.
What are the odds?
Played it so differently.
Just gotta wait for it. Wait for it.
Look at that Beal in hand.
I know.
I think there's an Astro in there too.
Whew. Can you imagine? No
Both
wonder.
players at so little credits.
I know. This is the Poppers match. They can't even afford to pay attention.
Credit, advance once.
Interesting. Very interesting.
That's fantastic. Is it an assassination or not? I feel like inside job here is too risky. That is so scary.
It is very scary.
Oh, special order, man.
What's he getting? Call
I
it.
can't believe he has. He's getting a ferry. I can't believe he's not. He's not gotten an inside job yet. And it's breaking news. Wow. Could have scored it out last turn if you wanted. Chose not to.
It's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Kill the program. Not really.
And now 3-0 here. Andrew probably feeling some pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But he is certainly, it's a morass here for Andy. Having to spend all sorts of turns just to do very basic things.
He's just treading water.
But hey, if he treads it all the way to 7, then
That's right.
it worked.
Hey, you're still treading.
Andrew just needing some cash here so badly. Like to see some cash and like to see that remote established a bit harder.
I wish I'd been keeping notes on how many of those economy cards operations that he's played thus far.
He does have the Astro in hand, and getting that out would be the end of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Sand's going to be useful, huh?
Yeah, anything, if he could just afford it.
I mean, he slowed early Andy down. I mean, Andy has... the card is blank at this point. It's worthless. Gain a credit, install ice, and install. I like that a lot. It leaves it open for the 3 advance on the remote. You have to check it, which means you have to get through Roto Turret. If you bring out the capabilities to get through Roto Turret, could very well be something crazy like an Enigma up top there, and I feel like that's where that ice is going to be. Could even be a Draco. Could be, who knows.
The crazy thing, though, is that if it is an Enigma, we're back to square one again.
Yeah, totally. So
Just
Jesse
protracting
drawn
it
for the
out.
first.
It's hilarious.
Having to consider here. I still like an inside job on that remote. Force the res, at least buys you a turn. You get to see what that ice is. And it looks like he's gaining some credits here. So just going to have to sit back and gain money. Really a bummer. If that is the Astro, he took a risk and it paid off. I just don't know if that's it.
Let's see.
And it absolutely is. And that is going to be
That's a big deal right
trouble
now.
here.
Yeah.
Huge trouble.
Jesse's got to pull it out, but from where, I don't know.
I mean, he's got one turn, you know.
Yep.
He's got one turn. Andrew's going to get some cash, and then any agenda is active.
All right, yogging around.
Yogg. Credit. Checking R&D.
Nothing.
Boy, that's a good start.
Yeah, it is.
At least he knows there's no agendas coming in.
And the credits.
He's got to hope that Andrew doesn't have an agenda in hand, and that he cannot get the money to score it out.
But you and I both know.
Yeah, we know. I think Andrew goes for a money play here.
Yeah, because he doesn't have any.
I'd love to see a nice Draco on R&D as well. Install over that Enigma.
This would be a good time. What was that card that just came out in Second Thoughts? That would be ideal for NBN right now? 2 advancement for 0.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
that thing called?
The Sansan.
Delivery
or other.
from Sansan?
Delivery from Sansan
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
That would be interesting with the Beal out. Or not the Beal, the
With the
Astro.
script, yeah,
Yep.
it's true. It does enable that play here.
But does that make it worth it? Does that make it a viable card?
I don't know. I've not been a fan of it, but, you know.
But, you know.
Beanstalk, just what you wanted.
Boom. Even a breaking right now.
Yeah, breaking would be nice here. And where's Andrew going to go? I think that remote is off limits right now.
Yeah.
Rototurret's still unbreakable, but I I feel like that Enigma is up top, and I feel like it just got shut off.
Yes. Yes.
By the Yogg.
That's what Yogs do, man.
They do. They shut things down.
Everything's free with them. What are you supposed
It's
to
an
do?
incredible break. It really just molds the game, molds the idea of code gates completely.
Mm-hmm.
How many you're willing to have in your deck.
I have the password. I'm through.
And we're going to install over R&D
Did not see that coming.
and
really.
gain in a credit.
Interesting.
I think I certainly would have installed over Enigma. Unless that's a roto turret that could trash the Yogg, which it may well be.
That's not what you want to see right now.
Alright, drawing over there on Jesse's end. You got to find the agenda if it's in hand. I mean, you just have to get it right now.
Yeah, you can't wait around.
And that's a bummer. But it does mean that, you know, it only costs you 2 to get into HQ. You've got to take a look.
And here we go.
And there it is.
Boom.
And yogging through. Andrew still gets his credit. He has one chance to pull it here. I know that Beal is in there. And it's game if he doesn't.
What are the odds? 1 in 4? This one. Too bad.
Doesn't score. Closed accounts.
Too bad.
Andrew breathing a sigh of relief there. I think
that
he
was
could get
huge.
right back. I think he could credit and go right back in.
Gotta weigh it out.
Yeah, could well be. I mean, Jesse does not know that there's an agenda in hand here.
But, yep, he's doing it.
Credit and going right back in, yeah.
Smart.
It's you have to try to pull it here. And just let fate decide. 1 in 4 twice. Not bad odds.
Got
and he
it.
scores another Astro.
Astro. But that means there's
Which
a Beal
means the
in there.
Beal is still in hand, which means Andrew has this game.
Yep.
I think.
It shouldn't matter, as far as I can tell.
If he does have that Beal, maybe the Beal was gotten rid of.
Can't quite tell right now.
Could have actually archived the Beal. I don't know.
Man, that would be hilarious if he did. All right. Something's going down. Could have just drawn it. Who knows?
Install, gain 2 credits.
What?
Interesting here.
What
so
is
yeah,
happening?
we were certainly off.
What is happening?
Unless the Beal was actually the Astro all along. And then now it's just an agenda away for Jesse.
Yep.
Which is unbelievable. If he's got to get into
It's
R&D.
really evened out here.
He's like, he's so behind. I mean, in the overall terms of the game, but given the situation here, he's just 1 pull away.
Mm-hmm.
Just 1 R&D pull away. I think you have to check R&D.
Just gotta get in there, and I don't know. I guess
It's just-
HQ is still probably his best
If it's
bet.
a roto turret, your
But
day
no,
is
he's got-
over.
It's probably installed in that remote. Gotta imagine.
You've got to get a sentry breaker out, and you've got to get money to run. It's just not. It just doesn't
lot
look
to do.
good. Yeah. This roto turret's really causing issues here.
Mm-hmm.
Already been through 2 fairies.
Man, this is such a great game right now.
Absolutely.
So tense.
And Andrew, if he did chuck that Beal, that is insane.
Yeah.
I understand, you know, why in the moment that may have happened, but
I have too much in my hand. Get rid of it.
I mean, you throw out a barrier or a sentry breaker. There's a nice sentry. Caduceus, exactly what you want there. Gaining 3 and then a trace. All it has to be is a trace 3.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah.
Boom.
Caduceus gonna keep him out.
Sorry.
Sentries are doing some phenomenal work against Andy here.
Yes, they are.
I like Draco and Rototurret both in this deck. I think Andrew was expecting a lot more Ottoman to be in the meta, and teched against it with some nice 0 costs, some variable strength ice.
Mm-hmm.
And as it turns out, it's really effective against criminals that don't like the dedicated sentry breakers. A lot of Crypsis, not even Ninja anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So curious what's in that remote right now.
Yeah, me too,
It's
man.
got to be Jackson. I mean, it has to be Jackson.
You think you wouldn't? You don't think he would have installed something there?
I mean, if he
Or, an
installed
agenda,
something
that
he
is.
can 3 score out, there's no reason he didn't Astro it for the game.
It's true.
There's just no reason. Unless he just missed it. Unless
What if it's a character assassination?
Andrew just didn't realize that, you know, he needed to score 3 for the game.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're playing, you know, it's top 4, you're just playing Netrunner. Just trying to win.
I'm just playing Netrunner, man.
But you can see how the early game play of Andrew has really allowed him to stay on top of the resource game and the tempo game here, now going into mid to late game. I mean, Jesse just not set up any way whatsoever. Having to trash in credits and make runs just to try to win the game.
All right, here we go.
And here we go. So, huge pull here. Don't know if an agenda is in hand. I imagine there's no way, or it would have been scored.
Closed accounts.
And it's a closed accounts.
You got it?
And Andrew does not have the game.
Jackson.
Jackson drawn 2. Scary. There's the news. He got it. Wow.
3
great.
exactly.
Great game. Way to go. And if that Beal, is that Beal in archives?
I don't know.
I hope
I want
you
to
show
see.
it to us, Andrew.
I want to see.
Show it to me. Unless I just missed it. Maybe it wasn't a Beal after all.
There it is.
The Beal.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
That sucks.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry,
so
Jesse.
Congrats
Man.
to Andrew. Moving on to the finals. Jesse, well played. Well played. Rough shot in the first game. Still almost managed to pull it out second game. 2 great players going at it. We can see the graph here. Really a variable economy rate for NBN for Andrew here. You see him top out at around 10 minutes in, and then really just scraping by as he starts to score his first 2 points, and then onward to 3 for the game. If he needs more, if he needs to get to 7 to win this game, I think Jesse absolutely pulls it out. But you'll notice the economy crash of Jesse around 10 minutes in.
Yep.
This is when Andrew just laid it on, was trashing everything, didn't even get above 5 past that point. So
can you believe that? That's
so nasty.
So funny.
So nasty. Manages to score the agenda there around 13 minutes in. Drops out of credits to hit HQ around 16 minutes in. Gets another one. Gets yet another one at 23 minutes. And then Andrew with the clutch Jackson draw, and also allowing him to shuffle the Beal back in. So he knew that he had the safety there. So there you have it, guys. The first match of the top 4 from Worlds 2013. Netrunner. It was a great showing. Who could ask for better games than Netrunner here? We're going to be having the next game of the top 4, match number 2. So keep your eyes open for that one. And then, of course, the finals coming down the pipe as well. If you want to catch more Netrunner every single week, we totally do that. Live stream, teamcovenant.com/TV, Wednesday nights at 6:30 p.m. And if you'd like to support what we're doing here, we have a store, teamcovenant.com/store, where we are currently pre-selling data tokens. Our new tokens compatible with Netrunner, and we hope you guys dig them. We certainly love them. Watch the video and tell your friends. Thanks for watching, guys. We will catch you on the next broadcast of Netrunner on our channel.
Take care.